What did I get myself into this time? I think it's a money pit, but it'll be a fun money pit. All right, folks, here's my project for this year. Yep, it's an Ultra. And if you've watched this channel for a while, you know every time I touch an Ultra, it turns into a money pit. I'm sure this one will be no different. But she drove right up on the trailer. I haven't pulled the rope yet today, but there you go. So it's a 96 SP, as you can see from the hood. She's got an extra 10 in her from the factory. SLP Ultralight skis. Unfortunately, the skin on this one is missing a big chunk. So I'm looking for one of those. Turns out they still make those skins in black and red, not in purple, unfortunately. You can see she's got the SLP pipes on her. And she is the old 680 case reed ultra triple, exact same engine we put into Brad's XCR, and actually I think same set of pipes and everything. So I drove her up on the trailer, and it was pretty weak, like really weak, like hardly drove up on the trailer. And I was attributing a lot of that just to being hot and humid midsummer, but I don't think it's running quite right. So let's dig into this thing and try to do a little triage and see what kind of a build I'm going to be into this year. I will tell you one other thing. She's pretty filthy in there. So motor is 100% for sure coming out to get cleaned up under the hood. But let's get into it. And let's see what's going on. All right. Well, the first go-to for me on triples, if they're kind of boggy and weird, is the sink. And you seeing what I saw? Yeah. 2 of the 3 are synced pretty good, but looks like the cable fell off on the PTO slide. So how about that? That'll be a quick, easy fix. So one thing I was told by a buddy that's, he's a big Ultra aficionado, Jason. Thanks, man. He says, check and see if it's got the SLP needles. So I was going into the carbs pretty quick anyways. And, well, yeah, you can see there the cable was off. How about that needle? I'm going to bring that around to you. I guess I'm not an expert, but it's not a normal brass needle. Jason said the material would be different, so I'm going to assume that that's the SLP needle. Don't know what else it would be. All right, well, let's get this carb back together quick. Yep, she's opening now. What a difference all 3 cylinders makes, huh? All right. So far, so good. What else should we do? Check the compression, I guess. I'll bring you back for that in a moment. All right. Can you see the gauge? got? A little lower than I'd like. 110. About 108, 109. And the PTO is maybe 111. So compression's pretty even. A little lower than I'd like though. All right, a couple other under hood things. With the airbox out, you can see it's got that spacer like we put into Brad's for the bearing. That's a good thing. And I don't think you can see this, but that helix appears to be like a gold anodized helix. And the spring in there, when the light hits it right, looks to be some color other than black or red. So we'll get that apart and we'll check it out. I know my friend Jason told me there's supposed to be a brace over here that keeps the coolant bottle from expanding and pushing on your brakes. I'm hoping that's what this is right here. So I don't know. I'll find out. I'll show this to Jason and I'll find out. I'm not an ultra expert. I just like them. Well, since it's running better, let's do a couple test hits and see what we're working with here. All right, well, those test hits are what they are. There's a lot left on the table on this sled. There's a lot of tuning to do. I don't really like the clutching. I think it came in way too early. It was coming in at 4,000. I'd like to see it come in around 5, if not 5,500 on this thing. You want it to be up on the pipes a little bit when it comes in, and at 4 is way below where the pipes are doing anything. What else about it? Yeah, jetting. I didn't rejet it. It's still got the jets that it came with. I did pull the airbox off, but you can see from me sweating, it's hot, it's humid today. It rained last night, so it's super humid. You know, it is what it is. If you're going to run a sled on a day like today, you got to start rejetting it to get it to work right. So I think between those two things, I can make some vast improvements. I might re-ring it. 110's a little low. Probably re-ring it. We'll see. And I'll redo the crank seals. And of course, tim.precisionpumps@gmail.com. Tim is going to do the water pump for me. We already got that all set up. If you've got an Ultra and you need to get your water pump rebuilt, Tim is the man. And what else? Huge thanks to the patrons. Patrons support the channel every month with a donation. These are like the super fans, and you'll notice their names are up here on the screen. If you want to get your name on the screen, well, that's $5 a month donation, gets your name on the screen, and it also gets you early access and ad-free viewing on Patreon, on the Patreon app. You can't get it on the YouTube here. So recommend that for everybody. If you want to support the channel, hit subscribe, hit like if you want to see this build happen. Of course it's going to happen. I think it'll be a little later. Don't really want to wrap it up until, end of October, early November. I kind of want to have it be some cool, crisp fall days when I do my last test hits on this thing, because of course I'd like them to be impressive, and I don't want to have to jet it all for summer and rejet it back to winter. So there you go. And let's all learn about ultras, right? I got some great ultra resources and ultra friends out there that are going to probably answer a lot of questions for me. Of course, if you're watching this, you probably also watch Todd Klein. He's sort of an ultra expert. And I got my buddy Jason that I work with that loves Ultras and seems to know everything about them. And of course, Tim and Duct Tape Mike, you know. So pretty sure this thing will come out good. And let's face it, my goal for this, I want it to be faster than Brad's Ultra XCR sled that we built last year. I mean, of course I do. Wouldn't you? So with that said, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.